Hello, I'm Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams. You're about to see video footage and other information regarding a critical incident in our community. Investigations of these incidents often require officers to talk with multiple witnesses, view hours of footage, and examine a great deal of forensic evidence. This thorough investigative process takes time. While the investigative process is underway, we want to release as much information to the community as possible so you can understand the details of the incident as we currently understand them. The information may change as the investigation develops. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Tommy Thompson of the Phoenix Police Department Public Affairs Bureau. The information, audio, video, and pictures you're about to see are intended to provide details, as we currently understand them, of an officer-involved shooting which occurred on September the 9th, 2019 at approximately 4:30 p.m. Conclusions about whether the actions of the officers are consistent with the department policy and the law will not be made until all facts are known and the investigation is complete. This video may contain strong language as well as graphic video and images which may be disturbing to some people. Viewer discretion is advised. This incident started when Phoenix police officers responded to a domestic violence call at a home near 43rd Avenue and Thunderbird Road. According to the 911 call, a man, later identified as 47-year-old Hector Miranda, had attacked his mother with a knife. During the attack, she suffered a deep cut to her head. She was able to escape to a neighbor's house. Those neighbors rushed the woman to the hospital and called police. Here's a portion of the 911 call.
I have a comment. What is the address?
It is Dailey Street, Glendale, 85306.
What's the emergency there?
My neighbor from down the street came over. She's been, her son said that she went crazy. She is bleeding from the head.
What do you mean went crazy?
She said that he started flipping out, and he's got weapons, he's got guns, and please come on.
Okay.
Well,
Well, you got to tell us what's going on. Did somebody get shot? Did somebody get hurt?
no, she's been, from the looks of it, she's stabbed in the head.
2 officers were involved in this shooting. The first officer arrived in the neighborhood on West Dailey Street. He talked with the 911 caller, who told the officer that her neighbor came to her bleeding from her head. She said her son stabbed her and he had weapons and was acting crazy. The neighbor directed the officer down the street to Miranda. The officer was wearing an Axon Body 2 body-worn camera. Here's the body-worn camera video of his contact with the neighbor, who was the 911 caller.
What's going on?
Okay. I live right here. She came to,
Where is he? What house?
the house over here at the corner.
With the man, can you stay here?
Yeah.
The one on the car right there?
Not the brown one, but the one next to it right here.
With the white car.
Yeah, the one next to the white car.
Okay.
It's a white house with a brick, and she's got like a patio area.
Okay. So what? Is the son still there? According to, we don't know.
That I know of. Hey, ask if her son's still there.
So what happened?
Hun. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you see where the blue truck is?
Yeah.
There's a house next to it.
So what happened?
All I know is I was in the process of getting dinner ready when she comes ringing the doorbell, and she's bleeding from the head profusely, and she's saying how her son had stabbed her. He's got weapons. He went crazy and bled all over me, all over the front porch, patio, and
Where was she stabbed?
in the head.
Did she have a knife on her hair?
No, she had this big old gash that was just blood coming out.
Okay.
While the officer was taking the caller's statement, Miranda came into view and appeared to be holding a long knife and a gun. At the same time, a second officer responded to the scene from the other side of the street. He also noticed Miranda was armed and ordered him to drop his weapons. Miranda ignored the commands and continued to move toward the second officer, pointing the handgun at him. Now, the officer fired his service weapon, striking Miranda, who dropped to a seated position. The second officer was also wearing a body-worn camera. The view is limited due to the officer's position in the doorway of the patrol vehicle. Here is that video.
31 Henry, he's got a gun and a knife in his hand. Drop it! Drop it! Put it on the ground! Put it on the ground! Hey, he's saying he wants to commit suicide. He's walking towards me. I got a good distance away. I got a car in between us, though. Drop it! Fucking drop it! Drop the gun! Quit walking! Quit walking! 998! 998! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! .931 Henry, he dropped the weapons, but he's still nearby him. And reloading! And reloading, I got you! Stay down! Stay down! .931 Henry, it looks like he got hit in the legs a couple times. I can't tell where else. He's just lying on the ground right now. But our main concern is the weapons are still nearby him.
We noted earlier that 2 officers were involved in this shooting. Now let's go back about 90 seconds to show you the other officer who fired his service weapon at Miranda. He was the original responding officer who was talking with the 911 caller. As he was in his patrol vehicle approaching the suspect, he heard gunfire and saw Miranda pointing a handgun in his direction, and he fired at Miranda. Here's the body-worn camera from that perspective.
Okay, get out! He's got a gun and a knife in his hand. Go somewhere else. Get out! He's got a gun in his hand.
Get inside.
33 Henry's walking towards 931 Henry. Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Don't go! Don't reach for it! Don't reach for it! Alright, I'm in your crossfire. I'm out behind the car. Hey, stay down! Stay down on the ground!
Miranda was on the ground following the shooting. There was a gun and a knife within reach. The 2 officers gave commands for Miranda to move away from the weapons, but he did not comply. The officers waited behind cover until other officers arrived, so Miranda could be approached and taken into custody safely. Because Miranda was still near the weapons, less lethal rounds were used to encourage him to move away from the weapons. In this case, less lethal rounds refers to baton rounds fired from a 37mm launcher, which are designed to gain compliance. The video picks up from the camera of an officer who responds to assist as part of the arrest team, which assembles behind the cover of their vehicles. If you listen closely, you will hear the report of 2 less lethal baton rounds being fired from a 37mm launcher in an attempt to get Miranda to comply with the officer's commands. Shortly after that, the team approaches Miranda and takes him into custody.
I think that's just the start. Mike! Keep rolling! Keep rolling! There you go, keep rolling! Keep rolling! I got it, boss. I got it. We got the bunker right here, Doc. Who was on to use the carbon cover? Everybody behind the bunker, guys. Everybody behind the bunker. Who's got gloves ready? Go hands on. We got guys ready. Go hands on. Got it. Keep your hands up. Do not move your hands. Do not move your hands at all. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Do not move them. Go. Hands got your back.
The video is stopped as Miranda is taken into custody because the officers remove his clothing to identify and treat any wounds and then move him to a location where fire department personnel can take over providing first aid and transport him to a hospital where Miranda was pronounced deceased. Miranda's mother was treated at the hospital for a cut to her head and released later that evening. The large knife and handgun Miranda had were recovered as seen in these crime scene photos. The handgun was later found to be a replica. The 2 officers involved in this shooting are assigned to the Patrol Division of the Phoenix Police Department. Each of them has approximately a year and a half with the department. Neither officer was injured during this incident. Thank you for watching.